Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Graybeards. My name is Wayne, and to my left over here, or down below, is Bud, good friend. Good morning, sir. Can't hear
Look at
you.
that landscape.
Oh, there he is. I couldn't hear you.
Hey, it's making me cold, all the snow in the background.
I know winter.
Turn, turn
The
the old
season.
beard white.
Yeah, the seasons are changing.
It's the
Getting cooler.
most
The weather's
wonderful
been
time.
weather's been here has been really, really nice. So
Man, I walked outside about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock yesterday, and I was like, whoa, it's a little chilly out here. What's happening?
yeah,
It probably was only about 92 degrees. It's like it was cold, cool,
yeah,
noticeably cooler. So hey. I'm like, man, but I love this time of the year, man. This is my favorite time of the year.
yeah.
I love this time, man.
The end of
Yeah.
the yard
It's
drama.
waning. No
Yeah.
pun intended, but it's waning. It's I got several of my customers reached out and was like, how about cutting more in our yard next week?
Yeah.
And so I was like, great.
That's
And I
great.
just pulled out my old controller and went to work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's
I started to
good.
call you, man, but I was like, Wayne's probably doing God knows what. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't even mess with him. I was like, let the man work because I don't want to seduce him into my darn drug of choice. So
Yeah,
I was like, let
I,
the cat, let him do his thing.
I really
So
yesterday I didn't really do a whole lot of nothing. Just maybe some house cleaning and laundry is what I did yesterday. So
house cleaning, that's not a man job. I was
it's, it's not
raised different, a
um,
traditional role for a man.
I'm pretty sure somewhere in the Bible you're supposed to keep up your stuff. So
Yeah, you do. You
someone
got to
has
be a
to do it.
wise steward.
It ain't gonna do it itself.
That's
That
right.
vacuum, even though I do got a vacuum that supposedly will do its thing,
Uh-huh.
it's not as good as when as good as it is, it's not good enough, in my opinion. So,
Hmm. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Hey man, we was coincidentally before the show, we was talking about how in the lap of luxury, I got it, right? Life is wonderful. The sun is shining. All my obligations are met, so to speak. That's probably one out there. I'm hitting the snooze button on, but it's just like in the back of my mind is this nagging responsibility to the universe type thing going on. You're over here and there are people starving in Asia. You know what I'm saying? You need to be doing something to help humanity. And so I need to be about my father's business. And I'm kind of hoping that this show, Gray Beards, I'm thinking we put some meaningful information out there. I mean, you guys get to watch this old dudes talk about the past, present, future. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all getting some information out of it. Your conversations or your responses are stimulating. When I get the chance to read them, Rick, I finally responded to something you said. I want you to know, man, I really do appreciate you and everybody else that made comments, thumbs up, like, share, whatever you do. Appreciate y'all, man. This is great. It's positive energy, but I'm gonna be doing a whole lot of other stuff. But my excuses is running out because it's fall time. I don't have as much to do now. I have no excuse. You know what I'm saying? I'll be accountable for my actions. That's a word I don't really like, accountability. But anyway, thank you guys. You don't think you have no one lobbying for you because every Monday morning I got to hear, yeah, man, you should have seen this comment that Rick made, but Bug probably ain't watched it yet. And he's in my ear at least 3 times a week, reminding me.
well,
So I had the opportunity.
you're
Yeah,
the
and I
one that
appreciate
said
that.
You said that Wednesdays was your
I said
YouTube.
it. I
You
said
said
it.
it. Man is
I,
nothing without his word.
that is word. Yeah. I'm beginning to realize how important words are. They actually matter.
They
You
do,
know
man.
what I'm saying?
Words do matter.
You can't just say stuff, you know what I'm saying? I lived in a universe where I could just say what I wanted to. But nope, there's some cats coming out. That's what we led with responsibility, accountability. You know, hey,
Man,
you gotta back up what you said. You said 3 o'clock is four. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like you can't just be
You,
spewing stuff out there. I love you. You said you loved me.
it's
You can't just do that, guys. If you're any guys out there like me, it's a
it's
bad
funny you
course to
say
take.
that, right? It's funny you say this because it's a good segue what's been going on
Yeah.
this week.
Mm.
Words matter.
Words matter.
Words matter. And you know, and it's not a left or a right thing. You can call whatever you want. They've all, they all want to have cheerleaders for their cause, their side, right?
Hmm.
And when they feel they have lost um, the someone that was cheering for their cause on whatever side, it's almost comical as to the reaction of it, right? And I'm
Hmm.
referring to Jimmy Kimmel Live, which I've never watched a day in my life. And it isn't because I don't think it's on too late. And I don't watch late
Time is
night
bad.
television. I don't know
Right.
anybody that really does, but I guess there is some people that
Well,
stay up
is
till
it?
wee hours to
It's
watch
probably
it.
only 9 o'clock in California. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably when it's actually airing. But on the East Coast, you're
Yeah,
not probably not gonna get many watches.
yeah. And
If
that's
that's
the
what it
thing.
is.
But I don't, I was going to ask you, do you think, I don't know if you're up to speed on that,
Go ahead.
that is it censorship by Donald Trump and the FCC?
Well,
Because of what he
this
said, he was talking stuff, controversial stuff. He's been saying it for years. In the political realm, he's a liberal. So
you nailed
he's a
it. That's the
Democrat.
exactly
So he's on the
that's the word I
Democrat
was gonna use.
team, so which is
Mhm.
fine.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Once you enter a certain arena, then you got to be accountable. But even as a comic, I'm assuming that's what he is.
Well,
That you
I don't
can't.
know he's a late night talk show host,
Yeah, but
whatever that means.
yeah, to your point, words matter, and he's been using his platform to support a certain agenda. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Making
Yeah,
fun of certain people or whatever. But now you have an iconic figure that gets murdered, assassinated. And then I didn't hear what he said, but I've heard people talk about what he said.
yeah, I haven't
And it
heard.
seems like he was making fun of the death of Miss Charlie Kirk. You know what I'm saying? So you can't do that.
That
And
was the
no, this is a real
proverbial.
live event.
I think that was the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back because it's just like what's the other somebody else his show got canceled. And it wasn't
Mm.
necessarily, he was
Colbert,
kind of,
the
yeah,
Colbert show,
Colbert,
and all
yeah.
that. Hmm.
Yeah, that his show was canceled or will be. I don't know if he's still on or not, whatever. I don't really
Hmm.
care personally. It's not something that is going to affect my life in any way, um,
Hmm.
any foreseeable way. But it was it was just the he got canceled. I don't know if it was because of whatever, but his was because of his ratings, right? And Kimmel's was just as bad. ABC or parent company is Disney or whatever. They're like, dude, your ratings are in the tank. The show don't work, and your
Hmm.
salary is crushing it. We can't
All right.
afford it, right? So
Hmm.
it's stop. But apparently, it's all Donald Trump censorship.
Right. Right.
Even though,
But
even though
yeah, I don't see that.
yeah, you can go back and look back and any. they've always wanted to um, quiet conservative voices, if you will, saying, I don't know, you remember the whole misinformation, disinformation, you know, Russia interference, and it turned out to be a hoax, and it was a lies.
Mhm.
Apparently, I don't know what to believe anymore. It's like I've chosen to put my head in the sand, if you will, and I don't watch any mainstream media at all. News wise, there is no more news anything. It's all political garbage.
Yeah.
You
And it's
know,
the thing, man. God dang. I heard a guy say one time, he says, free press is the cornerstone of a free civilization. I was like, dang, let me unpack that. Okay, it makes sense. But that press has got to be truthful and accurate. You know what I'm saying?
and
It might be
non-biased. It's got to
not
report.
unbiased. That's the way it's
Yeah,
supposed to be. If you're gonna have this free civilization, nation, you know what I'm saying? You got to abide by those rules. So
yeah.
what I'm thinking, somebody's gonna have to somebody's got the reality. You're gonna have
Yeah.
to go to see. I was taught a long time ago. I was in high school. This guy was like, "This." I think I was in high school. The guy was like, "Hey, man, we're gonna get so far off the chain that he said the next step after a democracy is basically communism. You're gonna have to have some force that's gonna have to come back in to reel these mugs in." And in
You're right.
America, our society, and I saw it when I was a flight chief. You know what I'm saying? You have a flight, you're running your flight, and if you don't keep the reins on these individuals, they'll get further and further and further off the chain. They're not mature enough to thrive and benefit off the freedoms that you give them. So you have to become like a dictator. You have to go back and just implement some extreme policies to reel these individuals in. A guy named Bob Healy told me one time when I became a flight chief, he said, Sharp, your leadership style, he said, is designed for a mature individual. And on your shift, you don't have any mature individuals. And I was like, dang, that was profound. I was like, he was like, dude, you got to beat these dudes. You got to whip these cats into shape. You know what I'm saying? You got to implement these policies, and you got to just start sawing some feet and toes off because
Mhm.
that's the only way. And then loosen the reins as you get them reeled in. You've made this individual a mature um individual that can handle these freedoms. You can't start out with that. You got to set, and you said it in a different way, parameters or boundaries. I think that's your word of choice. You got to set boundaries. You got to have boundaries. Boundaries are necessary. I know I'll just like segue into this American border crisis, but you got to have boundaries. You can't just let any and everybody in. We
Yeah.
do it as parents. Everybody knows this, but they don't realize it, you know. So, yeah, you want a free press? You got to be responsible. Jimmy Kimmel, you got to be responsible. You can't be out there saying reckless stuff, you know, about something this guy got, even if he had no fans or no supporters or anything, you can't just make fun of this guy's death
Hmm.
on a national spectrum. You can't, it's not responsible. You know better than that. So you got canceled. You're canceled,
Well,
bro.
well, that was probably, like I said, the one thing. It's like you're done, and it ended up being you know, what he, I
Yeah.
guess, what he said, that they're using that, saying that was the reason or whatever. And
That
I'm
was that
thinking,
was that he
that was
was on the
part.
downward trend anyway.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's
Well,
a blur.
he don't know that, he's getting his whatever. I don't know how much money he makes from that show, but I know it's probably more than I'll make in 2 or 3 lifetimes.
Yeah.
I think he was
He
making
probably
like
knew.
16 million. He had like a $16 million contract or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
It was some crazy.
Yeah, I heard it was absurd.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a lot. But yeah, he had his contract. So hey, you gotta pay me.
yeah,
Find somebody. Yeah. So this was opportunity for them to rid themselves of him. And they'll probably start playing I Love Lucy or something.
yeah.
Ratings probably go back
It's
up.
funny. Yeah, it's funny. They said some. What did they say? I heard something that they were playing reruns of something on there.
Yeah. I mean, why not? Just play some
Yeah,
old stuff, some
It's
wholesome
like
stuff.
it's either like rerun old reruns of Family Feud or something like that. I don't know. It's something that
Mhm.
they were putting in that
Johnny
time
Carson, bring
slot.
him back.
Yeah,
Bring Johnny Carson back. Let him, it was a good
let them
old
see
days.
how it's supposed to be done or how it was done.
Exactly. Hmm.
I watched Joan. You remember Joan Rivers, the comedian,
Yeah, I
female?
remember her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she had her own late night talk show, but it didn't last very
No,
long. I don't. Well, she didn't stay on there very long. I don't know if she just, you know,
I don't know what happened to Joan.
I don't know if something
I don't know.
happened.
She
Did
just
she
disappeared.
say? I don't remember if there was any controversy, but there used to be a time, where the FCC, kept a stranglehold on these people. But it was, I always thought the censor, remember the old censor thing,
Mm-hmm.
Um, you couldn't cuss on TV. There were certain words that you could say, you couldn't say, you know. Um,
Yeah, censorship. You can't talk. Now it's gone. Our
but
society.
Well, that's the thing, and now they're touting, "Oh, you're free speech." It's like, yeah,
I don't think that fits in that category. There are those that do. It's just like you got the left and the right. So there's those individuals out there that, yeah, they shouldn't have done it. But yeah, that was extreme in my opinion. What I heard, it was extreme. So it is what it
yeah.
is. But
There's
I
like
think
there,
censorship is good. Look at the effect that it's having on our society, on our children,
yeah,
young adults. You just got what do they call it? Irreverence. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing sacred. You can talk about anything, you can say anything. Oh, he's pointing back there. Oh, that's a wolf. Is that
yeah.
a wolf?
I
Yeah.
saw that. This is a picture I took in Yellowstone, a wolf,
Okay. Nice.
and he is
Nice.
he's going out to hunt some Jimmy
Some
Kimmel.
elk or some reindeer or bison or
He's
something.
no, he's heading west to go take care of them. That's the FCC going out there shutting down the I
Oh,
don't even
wolf.
know what is the name of his show. I don't even know what Kimmel show is.
That's
Whatever
what
it
it's
is.
called. Jimmy Kimmel Show.
Yeah.
Hmm. I've
And
heard.
that's
But yeah, that's
I don't know. It's just I just found it that was kind of what it was last week. Do you think the question to put to everybody is do you think this is censorship? And I'm sure there's some that believe that, and I understand why you think that. I don't think it's censorship. I can see how the timing, I think it was just an excuse by ABC to cancel the show because of poor ratings, right?
excellent.
Um, but you're not going to hear that. Do your own research. Look at it. They've been saying his numbers. They don't typically um, publicize their ratings that I know of. There's probably out there um, in some internet corner of the world that we know. But
Hmm.
same with Colbert. He was, I think there's a couple of them that are on, they're all left leaning. And if that's your team, good for you. You got
Hmm.
quite the, you got quite a bit of um, sources for your corner of the ring. So I think,
Right.
what's the other Seth something, Seth? I don't know, whatever. There's like three or four of those late night shows.
Hmm. Yeah.
My grandmother loved the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
Yeah,
And
he was funny.
I always questioned when they picked Jay Leno, right, to
Mm.
succeed
Johnny Carson.
Johnny Carson, but he actually did. I'm a big fan of Jay Leno, big fan. one, he's a car guy and he's a comedian.
Hmm.
And two, he's a car guy. So um,
Nah,
um,
yeah, after Carson left, didn't really
yeah, I mean,
didn't
like
really
I
do
said,
much.
I was like Jay Leno, and that was the beginning. Carson was always kind of a comedic kind of guy. He always did funny skits. So it was, it was the selection was lost on me at the time because I didn't realize that Carson was. I didn't watch it then that often. It was times that I would see the Johnny Carson,
Yeah.
Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, on Friday nights, I think I would watch Johnny Carson because I could stay up because otherwise I had school.
yeah,
Once I
yeah, yeah.
became an adult, I don't recall. I probably watched them a few times. I was up late. It's just my nature to be up late.
Well,
Probably watched it.
unless you recorded it, you weren't watching it. you know,
Facts.
most people
Facts.
didn't
And I
have.
never recorded it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
never
Most
recorded
people
it.
didn't take the time to record it. It was a big
Not history.
involved thing. You
Hey, I
know,
recorded Space Ghosts and stuff like that, but Johnny Carson, I'm not gonna waste my one and only VHS test tape to record Johnny Carson. No, I need important stuff like Space Ghosts and the Herculoids and
yeah. We didn't
Batman.
even have as a kid growing up. We didn't have anything like that anyway. That was highfalutin stuff. So
Yeah, but I was about 16 or 17. When we got that, when we had such a device as that. And one of my buddies, I was like, man, he was like, dude, this is how you record on a pre-recorded VHS. You poke the holes out or tape over the holes or something like that. And
yeah,
I was
tape
like,
over it.
wow,
Yeah,
yeah. I was like,
yeah,
man, you're a genius. I can record of all this foolish stuff that my parents got, you know.
yeah,
And
yeah,
they go
yeah,
throwing
yeah.
the tape in there. So they're like, what the heck?
Well, it was kind of the same principle about the cassette tape too. Remember,
Yeah, yeah,
you couldn't record on it if it had these holes or whatever.
yeah, exactly.
Like if
So I messed.
you went and bought a cassette tape, whatever it is,
It was a long time before I realized that you could actually go buy a blank. You know what I'm saying? What? They sell these things? Yeah, they do. They sell them. And it was probably coming in DVDs before I figured it out. But anyway,
yeah,
it was good old days. Good old days. But yeah, hey, back to our favorite time of the year, fall time. Yeah, I heard you was out doing some gator stuff, no
yeah,
pun
uh,
intended. Chief.
yeah. Shit. We're not gonna talk about the Gators. This,
Not those
um,
gators.
yeah, we're not talking
The
about them. Yeah, I went
yeah.
out. We went out Friday night. My bro fam, Eric. Friday was we had run into some mechanical, electrical issues. One of the batteries that we did good. You know, we saw probably 7, 8 eyeballs, which we're looking for eyeballs at night, looking for their eye is very distinct,
Hmm.
and bright for an alligator. As long as they're above the water, mind you. If they're
Right, right.
underwater, yeah, you ain't
That
seeing them.
that little lens goes over their eyes when they
Yeah.
go under
So
the
you're not,
water. That
yeah, you don't really see them. So we saw several, potentials, and you try to get on them, and they're so spooky. It's so weird. I mean, you watch them. If you don't get up close to them, you got to get fairly close to them, and then second, you got to determine is this even worth my time because you can get hung up and whatever. So, but we saw a bunch of gators and couldn't get to them close enough to, get a hook in them or anything. So,
will alligator will it attack a full-grown man? Let's
an
go there.
alligator?
Yeah,
Oh, um, I don't. Probably not.
probably not.
Probably not.
Okay. I wonder what
Now,
large alligators eat.
if you say a crocodile,
Yeah, them suckers are vicious.
they
They eat
they
big game.
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that on
Um,
TV.
a gator, well, if you think about it, they're going to want something they can swallow, right? they they want something that they don't immediately target stuff that they can't swallow.
Hmm. I mean, I mean,
At
they got about
least in my
82 teeth.
I say that, but I'm sure there's some, Wikipedia, expert out there going, that's not what so and so said. A
Get them,
gator,
Rick.
yeah.
Yeah, Rick, let us know.
Rick will research it. But it has happened,
Hmm.
right? Without a doubt. And I don't know if that, but it's rare, right? If you're honest, they'll come up and eat your little ankle biter dog or cat, because they can get
Couple
yum,
chumps and
yum,
it's
yum.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
going down.
yeah.
They don't necessarily chew their food. They want to rip pieces off of it
Right.
just to
Yeah.
make it.
Okay. So you guys are pretty much safe in a sense. You might lose
Oh,
a finger
sure.
or a hand or something,
Or
but
you could they'll bite. They can definitely bite you, hit you with that tail whip.
mm,
There's a
mm,
ton of things that can, injure you, cause you some severe injury. You got to be mindful. But if you fell in the water, that gator typically, and I don't know. It's a wild animal. Anything can happen, right? But typically, their main thing is to get away, right?
that's so wild.
You know what I
Oh,
mean? It's not, even a cat, that fluffy, furry cat that everybody
that's funny
loves or
as that.
dog can sit there and they can turn around and scratch you at a whim. And you'd be like, what the heck just happened here? It's a
Hey
freaking
man, hey,
animal.
it's the small things that people say that gets me, right? I
Yeah.
like it. All right, okay. You got all this stuff on the table, right? All of this stuff on the table. Wayne just wipes it off. It's a wild animal. You can take all the stuff off the table. It's a wild animal. Anything can happen. Stuff that you
Exactly.
think would not happen. Pick it off the table. Oh my God, that's too funny.
Absolutely. We're out there, we're out there looking neat, neat. This is what they think. A couple red hillbilly. I consider myself a hillbilly redneck because I'm from Pennsylvania.
Right.
And I'm out there, we're sitting there pulling back some cold snacks,
Right.
weapons everywhere. No.
Man, that's funny, but your depiction is what monks think, They don't know you're really a sophisticated guy that drives around in some highfalutin vehicle,
Yeah.
living on a
It's
mansion
not,
on the hill.
they think, that we're not baiting them. You don't put no bait. There ain't no chicken on a string out there like you see on what was it? Swamp Nerds,
Well,
whatever
people,
they were.
something like that, they hunt these
Yeah.
gators.
Whatever that
So,
show.
so
Yeah.
tell them, Wayne, how do you? Because that's what I would think. If I was on a game show and it was for $1 million, how do you hunt alligators? Do you A, put chicken on a string, B, gaffle hook these mugs with a big hook,
Yeah.
C, no blood? I would miss that. Okay, I would be like, yo, put a chicken. Hey, what animal don't like chicken? So
Yeah.
that would be
But
my choice. They'll go, womp, 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 womp. No, it's not.
well,
What is it?
there's a ton. Every I don't know where they have gators that you can hunt. The state has established rules on how you can take them. So you just have to follow the rules. Here in South Carolina, you hunt them down. You can hook them or spear them, whatever, get something in them, and then you secure them, and then you can dispatch them. Dispatch them means you put a bullet or on the end of a bang stick on
No
their
censorship. Can't be
cerebral
censored.
cortex.
Okay, there you go. You got to use terms that kids got to Google to find out
Yeah,
what, actually what you did. Yeah, there you go. So,
where
so hunting
Louisiana.
one, the stalking. Do you stalk an alligator? Is that how it
Basically,
happens?
yeah, we you can do a couple different ways, right? If it's daytime, you're out there looking at you're looking for them to be out just sitting in the water, man, or sitting along a bank, or just swimming across the.
So you see one just swimming across the
Mhm. I
river or
have seen
pond.
that many a time. Yes,
What do you do? What did you do at this point?
you try to determine which direction they're going,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes they'll turn on a dime. You never know what way they're going. So. Um, and then you'll try to maneuver your vessel
Mm-hmm.
to enter, you know, cut them
Yeah.
off, you know,
Now
try to
this
get there.
thing it can submerge itself,
Oh, yeah,
you know.
instantly. Boop. I don't know how they
So it's
do it.
going down. So how you gonna catch it at this point?
Well, you still can throw a hook on it and try to catch them. Sometimes they'll just get below the surface of the water,
Okay.
right? They're
Track it.
only, a lot of these are only in like 4 to 5 or 6 foot of water. So,
Okay. Yeah, that was a question in my mind. I was like, maybe the water's not as deep as I'm thinking, you know.
yeah. And
Yeah.
in some episodes of the Swamp Nerds or whatever it was, um, they would throw a hook out, a grapple hook, and drag across the bottom because they see bubbles,
Mm-hmm.
from the gator. They'll walk like right along the bottom of them.
Mm-hmm.
So they look for those, or if they see
So,
they'll see the gator, right? And it goes down, and they go, no, I know we out there, kind of, they will, whip
hmm
that dang on, 4 or 5 inch grapple hook and they'll drag it across the bottom of the, what do they call their waterways? I don't even know.
I don't know. I don't know what it's called. So you grab the hook hooks this thing. He don't want to be hooked, he or she. And you're trying to pull him on. It's fighting and all this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Trying to keep your balance. I don't know what type of water vessel y'all using, but I'm thinking it's
Oh,
not
we're out there with, you seen them little tubes where you sit in and little flippers?
a tube. No,
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah.
You ain't
Well,
never
I'll have to
seen one of
look
them?
that up. I don't think so. No. If I have, I didn't know. He uses it for gator hunting. But go ahead.
We're in a boat. It doesn't matter what kind of boat. Pontoon boat, John boat.
Man, no way. There's no way because that thing would turn that boat over. Don't try to trick me into getting out there in a pontoon boat trying to catch an alligator. Yeah. Hey, yeah, use this. Use the most narrow
So
boat you can find.
the first gator me and Eric got was in September of 2015
hmm
on the same boat that we've been hunting. That was the Eric. It was actually Eric's tag, Eric's gator. He hooked it. I helped land it. Yeah, that was in September of 2015.
Okay. And
And
what
then
type of boat y'all was in? I mean, like
right,
a
it
regular.
was well, it's called what Triton Pro V, about a 17-foot boat.
Okay.
Still
So
have it.
no.
He has it. It was my boat then. It's his boat now. He bought it from me.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah. And you're pulling this thing in just by with your own strength. There's no reel. You just pull it. You
we
just
had it on a fit. The one he caught. That I mean, that was I. We have more time. I would tell you the story, but we don't have a lot of time. But I'll make it
got you.
quick. He hooked it, and it drug us around this stump-ridden lake
Yeah, that
for
sounds bad.
like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
8 foot gator, 17-foot boat, aluminum boat, 75 horse Mercury motor on the back.
hmm
Eric, he's 200 and some pounds. I was 200 closer to 300 pounds, probably. Maybe not, maybe
hmm
260 where I'm at now. But yeah, so that gator pulled us around, bounced us off stumps,
hmm
you name it.
You
Just
got you.
we just held on for dear life, and that thing stayed underwater, that as far as we could tell, the entire time.
Dang,
until
that's crazy.
we finally got it where we were basically pulling the boat towards the gator, not pulling the gator to the boat.
Right, right.
So,
I got you.
yeah.
Hey, that's wild. It sounds exciting. You ought to film one of these episodes
It's
so
so
we
hard to
can get.
do in the dark though. It was
Yeah, I
nighttime.
know.
It's pitch. I mean,
It's
it's
done.
pitch
Yeah.
black, dark. You can't see your
Why do you
hand in
do it at
front of you.
night though? What's the deal with night
Well,
versus
that's how
day?
you locate. It's easier to locate the gators with the flashlight. We
Okay,
got these.
see their eyes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I got you.
we got these little handheld suns.
And
You
they're
know.
probably more active at night. That's probably when they do their hunting or whatever. You know?
Maybe I guess. Yeah, they do get
Okay.
around more. I think so.
Yeah. Cooler.
Hmm.
Especially down here where the gators live. Yeah, okay, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense, man. That sounds good. And then you're doing all of that for this delicacy of the gator tail. You know what I'm
Gator
saying?
nuggets. Yeah. Hmm.
Gator nuggets. You probably can get a lot of nuggets out of a 6 or 8 foot tail, I would imagine. I don't
Yeah,
know how
there's
big
not
tail.
as much as you think. Um,
Mhm.
on it meat wise. And I forget I don't even know if we weighed that gator. We never even weighed it, what he had.
Mhm.
We just were like exhausted, wrestling it in the boat, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've seen gator, went down to Myrtle Beach. They had on the buffet, they had gator tail, gator
Hmm.
nuggets. It was pretty
Yeah.
good. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. I ate a reptile.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's what's up.
Frog legs. I mean, if you eat oysters and,
I do.
shrimp,
I
people
do.
will be like, a lot of people will be like, I'm not one of them, but a lot of people will be like, this.
Nah, nah. I'm
Especially
definitely one of
oysters or clams or any of that.
I like both oysters and clams.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's good, man. So how much time we got? Seems like we've been talking for a
You
minute.
got 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
2 minutes left, a
Hey,
2 minute warning.
I actually
Um,
reached out and addressed all the comments that I saw from last show.
yeah, I
Appreciate you guys'
saw
patience
that
with me.
there. I was like, goodness gracious, look at all the comments in there. And I'm happy about that. But I always worry as we get farther along I don't think we'll ever really continue, get super huge. Again, we don't get paid. So everybody knows we don't make no money off of this. If you see an advertisement, if you happen to watch it, we don't get no money from it. We're not monetized. Um, Yet there's certain criterias with YouTube. You have to have so many views, so many subscribers. We're nowhere near that. So we are
Yeah.
growing. We're up to 54 subscribers, which
It was just 53. Now it's 54.
yeah, it's been 54. If you would look on the channel. Um,
Was that, well, you got a ventriloquist or something?
yeah, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, just so everyone knows, we do this just because we do it, and I appreciate Bug putting up with me. He's been very. He's only missed one show where I had to do it myself, because
Yeah.
he
The
was.
lost episode. We
Uh,
need to do one on that. What was Bug doing when
that
this
was.
when he
I
missed
don't.
this thing?
I didn't even want to bring it up, but it's just like
It's
for the
up now,
most. I
son.
don't know how we're up at the like 50 or 60. I don't even know.
Dang,
Um,
that's cool. That's what's up. It's
but
growing.
so everybody knows that watch this channel, I have a couple playlists out there on the channel that feel free to watch them. I'll try to see if I can link some in there so you know that there is other channels. I didn't post anything on the this week. I was kind of by myself, so I was a little beside myself without my bride. She had a family reunion, if you will, in Florida
Mm.
this last week. So, but anyways,
Yeah.
with less than